You're listening to Pombo and Peter's Picks, the home of your favorite sports betting podcast. Presented by The Daily Goat.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pombo and Peter's Picks. I'm Jason Pombo, joined as always by Peter Alves. Peter, how we doing? Football is literally, a week away as we release this podcast?
A week away today. Yeah, I was just telling you right before I pressed record, I'm so excited for football.
Now, how long is that going to last? I'm going to set the line at I'm going to go week 9.
9? No, that's too short. Probably like 14.
14?
Where it doesn't matter, and then like all the good teams are good, and then all the bad teams are really bad. Cardinals. And then yeah, I mean, that's it. And then week like 18, I'll get real tired. Or 16, I'll get real tired. Or 17, I'll get real tired. And then I'll be playoffs, and then I'll forget about it.
But you like the early part, kind of seeing who could kind of surprise people, who are disappointments, and are the good teams actually good or the bad teams actually bad? Like in our division breakdowns, I mean, we had a similar thought for a lot of the teams. Some of them varied, but for the most part, I felt like we were on the same page for a lot of the teams and odds and that sort of thing. But all that goes out the window in week 1. You know, whether it's injuries, whether it's just teams were overrated, teams were underrated. And I think that's an exciting part because you get some of those surprise stories. Look at last year, Jalen Hurts. I mean, a lot of people didn't really take into account that he could be an MVP candidate. You look at, you want to go even a couple years further with the San Francisco 49ers making the Super Bowl, the LA Rams in the Super Bowl in 2020. So there's been a couple of different instances where teams kind of come out of the woodwork and they surprise you.
For sure.
Yeah. So like I said, Peter, we already did all the divisional breakdowns. That was a lot of fun. And this is our last show before we preview week 1 of the NFL season, which is
Speaking of
always
that,
a
a
hit.
caveat, I bet on Notre Dame plus like 24.5 versus stupid Navy. I love Navy, but not for football. First cash of the college football season.
So I did a 2-team parlay. I did Hawaii plus 17.5 and then USC minus 28.5, no, minus 31.5. USC didn't cover.
USC didn't cover because I bet on that as well.
You bet against USC or on USC?
No, I bet on USC. I blame Carr for that one.
Yeah, I blame Carr for that one as well. You're right. But to be fair, Caleb Williams did kick ass. He threw like 4 touchdowns and
he did. I was watching that actually.
Yeah, he kicked ass. So that was fun last week. It's always good having Carr on. Yeah. But no college football this week. We are strictly NFL based. So we're going to do some awards. We're going to give our MVP picks, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, coach of the year, and all that fun stuff. So I know I have a good reputation for picking NBA MVPs, but my NFL MVP.
I mean, do you have any tickets for Jokic? Or
I do not have any physical tickets for Jokic, but picking them, I feel like I'm pretty good at it. NFL MVP is a little bit more difficult. I did pick Mahomes last year. No, I didn't. Did I pick Mahomes last year? I did pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
You did do that, and then you bet against them.
And then I bet against them, yes. So rip to that. So maybe I'll try to, I tell you what, I'm going to try to stay consistent this year. We'll see how that goes. But before we get into the awards, Peter, one thing I want to talk to you about was Trey Lance. This was a story that sort of developed over the past week, and Trey Lance ended up being relegated to the 3rd-string quarterback with the San Francisco 49ers. Sam Darnold beat out Trey Lance, which was a mild surprise. I mean, I've been telling you that Kyle Shanahan was high on Sam Darnold a lot this offseason. And he even compared him to Steve Young to some extent, which is pretty crazy. You know, Sam Darnold's, he's entering his 3rd team now, former 1st-round pick, and it looked like he's going to be a categorical bust. But maybe not with Kyle Shanahan. He is quarterback 2, so who knows? But with that being said, Trey Lance was quarterback 3. He did not report to practice the day after he found out that he was quarterback 3. He didn't formally request a trade, but it was kind of, it didn't have to be said. The 49ers kind of looked like they wanted to move on from him, and he wanted a clean slate moving on from the 49ers. He ended up getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys. And he looks like he's going to be either the backup or the third. He's looking like he'll be the backup for Dak Prescott. What was your, I guess, first reaction when Trey Lance got moved to the Dallas Cowboys?
Our first reaction, I had what does Dallas need a quarterback for? And then I really thought about it. Dak got hurt 2 years ago, and then did he get hurt last year too?
He did. He got that thumb injury. He missed like
That's
6 weeks.
So like Hobie, he might be injury prone, not injury prone, but like he'll miss a little time. So like Trey Lance can do it. And then I thought about it. The Dolphins should be thrown in jail. They literally got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Bradley Chubb for nothing now. Nothing.
Yeah.
For a 4th-round pick, I mean, hats off to the Dolphins to do that. Hats off to the 49ers. I mean, you don't really need him. Brock Purdy, 264 or whatever his draft position was, Mr. Irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Kyle Shanahan destroys any quarterback in his whole regime. So it is what it is. I was really surprised, but hopefully Trey Lance can get back on track. I have him in Dynasty. It's probably a bad sign.
I tell you, when I first saw it, I was a little bit surprised, but then I sort of thought about it. And I do think there is some friction between Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott. Prescott, I know he just got an extension a couple years ago, but he's due for another one very soon. I believe he has 2 more years left on his deal. And I guess with his current deal, he can't be franchise tagged. So if you want to think about it, Prescott has 2 years, right? Before the Cowboys have to decide if they want to continue to pay him, because look, he's going to want a deal that's going to pay him like $55 million a year. And I think Jerry Jones has some concerns about Prescott, whether it's durability or ability, because he's come up short in playoff games. I do think that Jerry Jones expects more from him, and that just hasn't really come to fruition yet. So while I do think the organization is behind Dak Prescott, if he is, let's say the Cowboys struggle the next 2 years. Let's say they go, I don't know, 8-9 and 9-8, and they don't make the playoffs either year. I do think you could see a scenario where the Cowboys quietly get Trey Lance ready over the next 2 years and see what they have in the young quarterback. Look, Dak Prescott is somebody I like. I think he's a top 10 quarterback-ish. Like he's in that top 10 to 12 range. He's surrounded by some great talent with CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Tony Pollard. He usually has a good offensive line. I know this year could be a different story. He's got a good defense this year. And if he's not able to get it done, where the NFC is completely wide open, right? You could make the case that there's only 2 great teams and everybody else is sort of meh. The Cowboys really have to take advantage of the situation. And if they don't, Dak Prescott could find himself wearing a different uniform in short order. So I think that's kind of my developing opinion on it after kind of thinking about it for the last couple of days. One thing that I found interesting was after the trade went down, Jerry Jones was asked if Dak Prescott or head coach Mike McCarthy were asked about Trey Lance. And apparently Jerry Jones was like, no, I did not ask them their opinions on him. So I think that says that Mike McCarthy isn't on great standing with Jerry Jones, rightfully so. And I think Dak Prescott is sort of in a situation where he could also find himself in bad standing with the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys got a lot of expectations, I think. And might be not a do or die, but like I saw what Ezekiel Elliott was on the offensive line. But it is fine. Hopefully Trey Lance can get his career back together. I'm not calling him a bust yet. What is it, 2 years?
This will be year 3 for him, yep.
Yeah, we can't do it yet.
So let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that he never really develops anything. That looks like the most likely. I mean, sure, there's a chance, but again, gun to your head, you're probably going to say he's a bust more than of a shot.
For sure. Yeah. I mean,
now,
he hasn't got an opportunity, and then he's got hurt 2 years. So
yeah. So let's kind of pivot to the San Francisco 49ers, right? It feels like a lot of people in the NFL believe Kyle Shanahan is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. He's been to multiple NFC championship games. He's been to a Super Bowl. And he hasn't gotten things done. And you look at the track record, the last, I don't know, just things notable about Kyle Shanahan in his career. He was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta in that 2016 Super Bowl, that 28-3 game. He deserves some scrutiny there, right? But again, he was an offensive coordinator. So overall, you want to give him a pass. He's the head coach of the 49ers. The whole Jimmy Garoppolo situation was very, very odd. He kind of butchered the Trey Lance situation. Now he's with Brock Purdy, right? And he seems like he's the guy. But he's talking up Sam Darnold. So it just feels like, I don't know, Kyle Shanahan gets a pass on a lot of things that he probably shouldn't. Along with John Lynch, the general manager, like you just mentioned before, the trade with the Miami Dolphins, that is arguably the worst trade in NFL history. If Trey Lance, I mean, it is as it currently stands. You trade up 3 first-round picks and you get a 4th-round pick for that particular player back. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible look. And I do think there's some friction there. I think there is a lot of discussion about whether Kyle Shanahan actually wanted to pick Trey Lance when they first traded up. I do think he wanted to pick Mac Jones. I think Florio of Pro Football Talk was saying that, and I actually believe him on that because it felt like from the beginning that Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan were a bad sort of duo, and it kind of felt like Shanahan was sort of talked into drafting Trey Lance 3rd overall, and I don't know. I think it's the worst trade in NFL history, and Kyle Shanahan is getting a pass on it, and I'm not sure why.
Hey, we'll see about Russell Wilson. We'll see about Russell Wilson. We'll see about Russell Wilson.
And look, speaking of like other quarterbacks here, the 49ers could have had Tom Brady, they passed. They could have had Matt Stafford, they passed. So look, I mean, you messed up Garoppolo, you messed up Lance. You could have had Brady, you said no. You could have had Stafford, you said no. I mean, you better hope Brock Purdy's the answer. That's all I have to say. Is
Hey, that's
Brock
Kyle
Purdy,
Shanahan's fault. I mean,
It
Brock
is.
Purdy got hurt. Trey Lance obviously gets hurt. Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. I think Matt Ryan decline. Well,
Mhm.
that's kind of after, but I mean, he's just a quarterback hurter.
And
They were going to
even the,
sign Philip Rivers in the Super
yeah,
Bowl.
but like to the point last year where the 49ers were paying Jimmy Garoppolo to like not play for them. Remember, he was like practicing on like a separate field, like he had nothing to do with the quarterbacks.
Sure, that's 5 weeks.
Like
I was just talking about Garoppolo rumors the whole time.
100%. We literally talked about Garoppolo to the Seattle Seahawks for like 6 weeks, and it didn't happen. Instead, Garoppolo was a non-factor, and he wasn't active in that NFC Championship game, and that sort of thing. He's clearly developed some friction with his quarterbacks, and I think that is an issue. And I mean, I'll tell you what, he needs a Super Bowl because if he doesn't, I think his legacy takes a real twist here. Now, if he's competing in the NFC Championship game year in, year out, but he needs a Super Bowl. I think that's something that he actually needs, especially after this Trey Lance debacle. Any other following thoughts on Trey Lance and wearing a Dallas Cowboys uniform this year?
Hopefully, he gets in there. Maybe
I
he'll
don't,
run
yeah,
in run packages.
yeah. I mean, look, Cooper Rush did a fine job when he was in there last year. I remember a lot of people were saying Cooper Rush should be the starter. I don't remember if you. I don't know. I don't think you were one of those guys, but do you remember? I want to say Cooper Rush was like 2-1 as a starter, and he played pretty well. Maybe 4-2,
Yeah,
whatever it
that's
was.
2 years ago, right? When
No, this was
Dak got
last year when he broke his
hurt.
thumb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. But if I remember correctly, everybody was stroking Cooper Rush, and they're like, "Oh, he could be fine, this and that." And then he got exposed in that Philadelphia Eagles game, if I remember correctly.
That's right. And then he got blown out, and then everybody's like, "All right, go back to
Yeah, like,
Dak."
oh, JK. Cooper Rush, he was 1-0 in 2021 as a starter, and last year he was 4-1 as a starter, and he got blown out by
That's
the Eagles. So look, he's
yeah.
5-1. Look, he's gonna be 30 years old. He's not the long-term answer. I think that's clear that he's just not that guy. So if you want to take a chance and develop Trey Lance and give him 2 years and see where it goes, sure. And that buys you time. Because if they decide Trey Lance is the future guy, then they let Dak Prescott walk, you trade him or whatever, and it gives them a little bit of a window here. So I think the Dallas Cowboys are actually kind of kicking the barrel down the road on Dak Prescott and putting a little pressure on him as well internally. Maybe he needs a little bit of a kick. All right, so Peter, I'm sure we'll talk a lot about the Cowboys this year, and I'm sure we'll be picking them or picking against them rather quickly. Want to get into some
Against them during
awards?
the playoffs. Screw Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, get right. Yeah, but somehow they did win that wild card game against Brady and the Bucks. But I think we were both on the Bucks that game. That game.
But to be fair, I mean, then we saw them do Ezekiel Elliott to the thing, so
Yeah. Rip.
water meets its rebel level.
Rip.
So
Yep.
that's good.
Rip. So let's get into some awards, Peter. Is there any particular award you want to start with?
I want to start with comeback player of the year because I have hot takes.
This should be an easy one.
No,
I actually
go.
don't have the comeback of the year award lines. If you have those applicable, I have my pick, but I don't have the lines. So if you want to read that off,
I do have the comeback player Or give me 2 seconds. All right.
Sure.
While I pull that up, I want to just rant about comeback player of the year real quick. Obviously, DeMar Hamlin is the story of last year. It's the reason why preseason games, I'm pretty sure, it got canceled all throughout the league. He's a backup safety. The story is so great, and it's fine. But I don't think you should get all this love for comeback player of the year. Obviously, he had to get resuscitated. You can cancel him if you want. Jason might have to find out the co-host after this comes out. But I'm just speaking my truth. He's a backup safety on a Bills team, and I don't know.
So he's not your pick.
And no, he is not. I wish there was just the field because it's so saturated for Damar Hamlin, rightfully so. All right, Damar Hamlin is minus 220, 285, and then the two that are tied for second is Russell Wilson at plus 2,000, and then Tua at plus 2,000. That's such
That's
a
so sweet. I mean, look, it feels like your criticism is geared more towards the award itself. Like you're saying, like, for example, DeMar Hamlin, who's probably going to play, I don't know, 35% of the snaps, as opposed to, let's say, Russell Wilson, who could, I don't know, lead the Broncos to an AFC West title. So I see what you're saying, but
Hey, what
I
about like John Mechie? He 20 plus 2,500.
cancer. Yeah.
He's coming back from cancer. Brees Hall plus 2,500 coming back with ACL. Cooper Cup plus 3,000.
So you're saying the line should be closer than what they are.
Yeah, I don't think Russell Wilson and Tua should be plus 2,000, but like I get it. I do get it.
So who's your pick?
I said Tua plus 2,000. I mean, I think the Dolphins are gonna be pretty good.
All right, I'm gonna go DeMar Hamlin. I think that's look. It's gonna be DeMar Hamlin, Peter. It absolutely is. 100%. The reason being, everybody knows, and he was resuscitated live on the field. Everybody saw it on Monday Night Football, and him being actually able to play less than a year after the fact is crazy. You know, if you could really go back in time and last December and say this guy's going to be on an NFL field months after this incident, I mean, he's hats off to him. He's going to get the award. So I think you're wrong on that
I
one.
do agree with that pick though, because I don't hate that, and I'm not trying to get canceled. I'm really not.
No, you can't hate the pick. I mean, it's first of all, it's going to be the pick. Second of all, like you're picking Tua because you think Tua is going to be playing at an MVP level.
It's
Well,
true.
That's why you're doing it. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Any pick for the next award, Peter? What category you want next?
No, go ahead. Whatever
All
you
right.
want. I had
All
to
right.
get that up. So that's it.
All right. Let's go offensive. Let's go offensive rookie of the year. I'll start with that or move to that.
Yeah, that's
All
pretty
right.
easy for me. Oh,
I
God.
will.
No, God. God.
Hang on. Let me read you the odds here before. I already know who you're going to pick, but look, this award has been one that I mean, there's been some controversy. There's always been. Look, we see rookies play more and more, so I think this has been a award that has look, it's changed a little bit. Like I remember for the Mac Jones year, he made the playoffs, but ended up being Jamar Chase after he had a great year. But Bijan Robinson plus 275 is the favorite, followed by Bryce Young at plus 500, then Anthony Richardson at plus 600, CJ Stroud at plus 850, Jahmyr Gibbs at plus 1,000. And then I'll just read you a couple others, followed by Jordan Addison plus 1,700, Zay Flowers plus 1,800, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba at plus 2,000 rounds off your top 8 at the offensive rookie of the year position. So who was your pick, Peter?
I didn't overthink it. I have Bijan on plus 275. He's getting drafted in the first round of fantasy. Every first round running back is usually pretty amazing. He doesn't get tread on the wheels. Assuming he doesn't get hurt, rip Damian Pierce. But yeah, I mean, other than that, then I'd have like Anthony Richardson. But don't overthink it. I had Bijan plus 275.
100%. Don't overthink this. Bijan at plus money. I think it's a steal. I think he's going to be an electric running back in this league, especially in year one in Arthur Smith's offense. Don't forget Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith came from the Tennessee Titans. He was the offensive coordinator there. Hence, he was Derrick Henry's offensive coordinator when he was tearing it up in the run game. Bijan Robinson's a great pass catcher. He can go between the tackles. And you look at this Falcons team, right? They have some good skill position players. Kyle Pitts, Drake London. They're going to be able to spread it out, run the ball, so they're not going to be as predictable. Desmond Ritter can move a little bit as well. So I think Bijan's going to get some good. He's going to get a good amount of usage, and I think he's going to be the runaway offensive rookie of the year award winner. I'll give you like a sleeper, because look, I do think it's going to be Bijan, but if I couldn't pick Bijan, I had to pick somebody else. I think Bryce Young at plus 500 also has some decent value. I like him a lot. Look, he's going to be the starter day one for the Carolina Panthers, and I think he's going to really look. I picked the Panthers to win the division, so I think Bryce Young's going to be a big reason why. So I am going to pick Bijan, but don't sleep on Bryce Young. I think he's somebody that deserves some mention in this category.
Yeah, I don't hate that. If you spread around Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud.
Yeah, right. It's going to be one of the four that I would imagine. You look at some of the receivers, Jordan Addison.
Just locked into whatever the quarterback does, and I assume that.
Agreed. Jordan Addison, he's in Minnesota. He's going to be overshadowed by Justin Jefferson. Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's already overshadowed by DK Metcalf, and he's already hurt, so he's uncertain for week one.
And Lockett.
Yeah, of course, Lockett as well. You look at Zay Flowers, overshadowed by in that offense with Lamar Jackson. It's
Mark
kind of a
Andrews.
run-first offense. Mark Andrews, Odell, who's there now. Quentin Johnson overshadowed by Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
He can't catch, though.
Yeah, again, I have some question marks about him. I guess a case can be made for Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit if he really takes a stranglehold on that RB1 kind of role. He's kind of a wild card because a lot of people are not sure how the Lions plan on using him, what his usage will be. So that's one thing I guess to look out for is Jahmyr Gibbs is a wild card, I guess, at plus 1,000. If you want like a super deep sleeper, Peter, I'll give you.
Will Levis at plus 4,000.
No, I wasn't going there, Peter. But if you want to go there, you can go there. I'm gonna go someone a little bit, I guess, higher. It would probably be. This is close, but I would probably go that Zach Charbonnet from Seattle, the running back. Their RB1, his name is escaping me, is banged up. Who's RB1?
Come on,
Kenneth
man.
Walker. His name was escaping me.
Oh, I'd love that. It was Zach Charbonnet. Oh my God. I literally.
He's banged up.
If we score.
You would in that instance. So, we shall see though. That's my pick for. That's both our picks for offensive rookie of the year. Want to move to defensive rookie of the year?
Let's do it. I got defensive player of the year.
Let me read the odds first. Hang on. Let me read the odds.
Oh, to be fair, all right, Massachusetts. I don't live there anymore. You gotta go and whack. You can't bet on Heisman. You can't bet on coach. You can't bet on defensive rookie of the year. Like, what are you doing?
No, those are the ones. So I actually have MVP and offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year. That's all I got.
Like, what are you doing?
I have no idea why, but I do have this one.
Listen, if you need me to be your bookie, I mean, I can totally do it. I did it for horses. I'll do it again.
Peter the bookie. Defensive rookie of the year. Will Anderson is the favorite at plus 400, followed by Jalen Carter at plus 700. Patriots corner, Christian Gonzalez at plus 950. Carr has a ticket for that, actually. Carr actually has a ticket for Anthony Richardson as well, now that I think of it. Devin Witherspoon at plus 1,000. Tyree Wilson, also at plus 1,000. Jack Campbell at plus 1,400. Lucas Van Ness at plus 1,500. And then Emmanuel Forbes at plus 2,000. So that is your top, what is that, 8 for defensive rookie of the year. So who you got, Peter? Do you have someone on that list or somebody different?
I have a ticket for plus 950 Christian Gonzalez as well. I like where Carr's going. I think it's going to be a top 10 defense. Bill can do any corner they want to. And I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to just shut down a lot of people. I mean, their schedule is pretty hard, but Sauce can do it. He can do it.
Sauce can do anything.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to go.
950 is not bad.
No, all these odds are actually pretty decent for this category. I'm going to go different, though. I'm going to go Raiders defensive end, Tyree Wilson. He's somebody that was sort of slept on the draft a little bit, and he's had a good training camp. He played well in that last preseason game, so he's somebody that I like, and I'm going to go with playing on the other side of Max Crosby. I think will also impact him in a positive way. He's not going to have to deal with as many double teams, and I do think that Raiders defense is going to be better than it was last year. I think he's going to accumulate the stats. And while I love Christian Gonzalez, I love what you and Carr are thinking, but overall, I think with a cornerback winning the award, it's going to be a little bit harder than, I guess, an edge rusher to win that award. So that's why I'm going to go with Tyree Wilson. But if you want to go with a sleeper pick, Peter, I'm going to go with another Patriot rookie. I'm going to go Keon White plus
I love that.
3,500 as a sleeper.
I love
Yeah,
that.
he is a very, very, very impactful pass rusher that I think is going to be a 3-down player for this Patriots team. And I think he's somebody that's going to accumulate stats both in the run and the pass game. I like him a lot. He's, I guess, my deep sleeper, but I'm going to go with Tyree Wilson. You have a deep sleeper?
A deep sleeper. I mean, to be fair, I don't know a lot of these people are the Patriots guys. So no.
Okay, fair enough. With that being said, let's move on, Peter. Let's go to Coach of the Year. This is an impossible award, and I really never like how it's picked because a lot of it it feels like it never usually goes to the best coaches. Like Bill Belichick has only won this award 3 times. He's won it in 2003, 2007, I think it was 2010. Now, look, Bill Belichick deserved that award so many more times. I understand you can't give it to the same coach every year, but it feels like this award is, I don't know. I just don't like how it's usually predicted, but I'll read you the odds for it. Dan Campbell is the favorite at plus 850. I think he was the favorite last year as well. Followed by Sean Payton at plus 900. Matt Eberflus of the Bears at plus 1100. Arthur Smith of the Falcons at plus 1400. Matt LaFleur at plus 1600. Robert Saleh at plus 1600. Followed by Mike McDaniel at plus 1800. And Doug Peterson at plus 2000. Peter, before you give me your answer, I'm going to complain to you a little bit. How is Mike McDaniel on this, right? Mike McDaniel, with the offense he constructed with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, they're coming off a playoff appearance. Like, how is he on this list? Robert Saleh just got Aaron Rodgers. Like, you deserve to be coach of the year after you got Aaron Rodgers. Like, what?
That one I'll disagree with you on that. I mean, he was in the bottom of the basement. He didn't have a quarterback.
Well, he's got one now.
No, right. Now he does.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like,
it's all about that. No, I agree with you. I mean, like, you don't see Andy Reid over here. You don't see John Harbaugh over here. You
like
don't see
for
said
this list,
Belichick.
Bill Belichick is plus 3,000. Nick Sirianni plus 3,500. Zach Taylor plus 3,000. Kyle Shanahan
McVay,
plus 3,000. Harbaugh plus 3,000. Pete Carroll 2,500. So it's, I don't know,
McVay plus 3,000. Yeah.
crazy. So who do you like?
So in the spirit of Coach of the Year, because it's not really Coach of the Year, I have actually Matt LaFleur at plus 1,600. I don't think the Packers are going to be that bad. They're being overshadowed of Aaron Rodgers leaving. I picked them to win a division, and I'm pretty sure if they win the division, assuming that the Lions don't just smoke everybody, I'm pretty sure he'll win that because it's not Coach of the Year. It's probably most like improved Coach of the Year, to be honest. So plus 1,600.
There's some good odds for these. I'm going to go even further down the depth chart, though. I'm going to go with Frank Reich at plus 2,500. I picked the Panthers to win the division with the rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. And I think if they win that division, how can you not give the award to Frank Reich? He's built a great coaching staff there. He's developed in terms of Bryce Young in a positive way. It feels like through training camp, they added some skill position players. I think the Panthers offense is going to be better than people think. And I love this Panthers defense. I think it's going to be a top 10 unit. So I think they're going to be very good. And I think they win the division and Frank Reich deserves coach of the year. You got a sleeper?
Yeah, I don't hate that either because if they win the division, there's no matter what. I mean, like, if it's a sleeper, I mean,
I have
like,
2 sleepers.
Brandon Staley, 2,500. If he's just going to get fired and he wins the division, maybe.
Mhm.
Mike Vrabel, because everybody's just crapping on
What's Vrabel's odds?
3,500.
35.
That's about it.
I have two. Yeah, I have 2 that you didn't mention.
Josh McDaniels plus
No,
40.
I did not. I wasn't thinking McDaniels. One, Sean McVay at plus 3,000. The Rams are coming off a really, really bad year. Stafford is healthy. Cooper Kupp is healthy-ish. And if the Rams can, I don't know, get their stuff together and get into the playoffs at 10-7, and McVay has a bounce back year, I think he'll be a strong candidate. Another one I'll give you here is if Bill Belichick and the Patriots make the playoffs, Belichick at plus 3,000, I think he'll
Never
have his help in
wins.
the ring.
He never wins.
But I think the expectations right now are so low. Like the Patriots win total is down to 6.5. If he goes 10-7 and they make the playoffs, I mean, how could you not like at least consider him? Like if this isn't with the Brady Patriots where they're expected to win 12 games, like Vegas is saying they're going to win 6 to 7 games. And if he goes 10-7 and let's say they finish second in the AFC East, ahead of either the Bills, the Dolphins, or the Jets, ahead of 2 of the 3, then I think he deserves some real, I guess, notability there. That'd be 2 that I really like in terms of sleepers. Another sleeper that one sleeper as I'm kind of reading this that would probably come to my head is if Kevin Stefanski and the Browns can get Deshaun Watson getting in the right direction, Stefanski at plus 2,500, sort of in the same category as Belichick.
I think he's gonna win the division though.
You don't think he can get it if he finishes second? I guess it depends.
I don't think so. If he can make the playoffs as a 5 or 6 or 7, I don't think so. I mean,
that's
their
why I'm
team
picking.
Paper is pretty good.
That's why I'm picking Frank Reich. Like I think that's why I think they win the division. So I'm gonna roll with them.
I don't hate that. Plus 25. I don't hate that at all.
No. All right, let's move on to let's do offensive player of the year. This is another fun award. And I'll read you the odds here. Jamar Chase is favored at plus 1,100, followed by Justin Jefferson at plus 1,300, then Christian McCaffrey at plus 1,500, Nick Chubb at plus 1,700, Tyreek Hill at plus 2,000, Justin Fields at plus 2,000, and then Lamar Jackson at plus 2,500, and Joe Burrow at plus 2,500. Who do you like?
So as history showed, this isn't really a quarterback award because they usually win MVP. So I just picked chalk. Even if it's not chalk, Jamar Chase at plus 1,100. It's really not chalk. That's pretty good value for anybody you want. But Jamar Chase, I think he's absolutely gonna ball out. I think Joe Burrow is gonna win that division and just beat Joe Burrow. I don't care about his injury. And Jamar Chase getting drafted like 4th overall in fantasy, so he should be good. I mean, I don't think they'll give it to Justin Jefferson again. And then I don't like a running back either. Tyreek Hill. Dolphins suck, but and it's not a quarterback award, so I'll just pick chalk, Jamar Chase.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm taking chalk as well. Jamar Chase at plus 1,100. Look, I think he's poised for this Bengals offense to have a great year, and I think he's going to be a big reason why. Like you said, Justin Jefferson, he's the best receiver in the league, in my opinion, hands down, but it's tough to win back-to-back years, and that's why I'm going to go with Jamar Chase. I think he's going to have a monumental season for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think he's going to be handsomely paid after this offseason because I think he's going to ball out.
Well, they're talking about him extending before week 1.
Yeah, so we'll see if it gets done. I have a sleeper. Do you?
I do have a sleeper. I mean, I crapped on Tyreek Hill plus 2,000. Stephon Diggs maybe plus 3,500.
Mine is I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go CeeDee Lamb at plus 3,500. I think CeeDee Lamb is gonna have a great year, and I think he's gonna be a top 3, top 5 receiver in football this year. I think he's gonna really take over and put that Cowboys offense to a new level. So he's somebody I would put as a sleeper. And I think he's going to be right there in the thick of things at plus 3,500. But I'm going to go with Jamar Chase at plus 1,100.
Now looking at the odds, I got to bet on 1 or 2 of these. Because like if Jamar Chase is plus 1,100.
Yeah. These odds, yeah, it feels like Vegas doesn't really know how this award's going to go. I know we were just talking about receivers, and it is a pass-happy league, so you would think it's probably going to be a receiver over a running back, but how about the running quarterback?
I'm doing that too because like the running backs get hurt more than the receivers do.
But I do think guys like Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts should be in the discussion. If Lamar Jackson is healthy and the Ravens make the playoffs, let's say they win the division, I think Lamar Jackson will be right there for that award. Now, then it gets complicated. Will this player win quarterback and offensive player of the year? So I mean, then I guess you're kind of.
I don't think so because if Mahomes didn't win offensive player of the year last year, I mean Jefferson did a lot.
Yeah, so it feels like it shouldn't be a quarterback award. It should be more a receiver, running back, tight end award. But you're right. I personally, I wouldn't bet on a running back. Like I think Nick Chubb's odds are way too high, to be honest with you. At plus 1,700.
Everybody loves Nick Chubb this year, though.
I love Nick Chubb too. Like he's a great back, but it just felt like him having better odds than Tyreek Hill, and even like Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams to some extent is a little absurd to me.
Well, I mean, if you like Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson should be right up there.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I think Garrett Wilson should have better odds than Nick Chubb.
Sure.
All right, let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year. This award, I guess, is a little bit, the odds are a little bit different from Offensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons of the Cowboys is favored at plus 500, followed by Myles Garrett at plus 800, then TJ Watt at plus 850, then Nick Bosa, who just won the award last year, at plus 1200, then your boy Sauce Gardner at plus 1500, and Max Crosby at plus 2000, Aaron Donald at plus 2,500, and then Aiden Hutchinson at plus 2,500. All right, who do you like?
So this is a bad award for cornerbacks. I don't think all the stuff on Gilmore I couldn't tell you, and you could probably tell me. But I didn't want to pick chalk. I almost did for Micah Parsons or Micah Parsons. Sorry, but I picked Myles Garrett plus 800. Just got his new contract. I think he's the best defensive end in this league. And who's holding out? Joey or Nick? Is it Joey?
No, it is Nick. As
Oh,
far
it's
as I know,
Nick.
it is
So
Nick. I believe.
it's not gonna be him. So
Yeah,
I pick my pick is Myles Garrett plus 800. But I don't hate any of the top players
yeah. It's tough for a
except
corner to win that award, like you said. Gilmore he was a rare instance, and he got the award. But typically, it's not a cornerback award because it's tough for those guys to accumulate stats,
wait,
like you
can you
said.
tell me who the last one before that was? You probably know.
I want to
Unless
say it
you
was
tell.
Revis. I want to say it was Revis in a year. I'll look it up.
It wasn't with the Patriots, no?
No, I believe it was with the
But
Jets.
yeah.
I'll pull up a list for you. Here we go. NFL Defensive Player of the Year award history. Like you said before, Stephon Gilmore was the last cornerback to win it in 2019. After that, I was wrong. Bob Sanders won it in 2000, but he was a safety, so that's a little different. So the last corner I think was Charles Woodson in 2009 with the Packers.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. So I don't know. Myles Garrett, but I won't hate if you don't pick a cornerback. So
So the last I'll go from 2010 on to win this award. Troy Polamalu with the Steelers won in 2010. He's a safety. Terrell Suggs won in 2011 with the Ravens, linebacker. J.J. Watt won in 2012 with the Texans, of course, defensive end. Luke Kuechly won in 2013, linebacker with the Panthers. J.J. Watt won in 2014 and 2015. Khalil Mack, defensive end, won with the Raiders in 2016. Aaron Donald won in 2017 and 2018. Gilmore won in 19, like we just said. Aaron Donald won again in 2020. Then the last 2 years were TJ Watt, linebacker with the Steelers, and Nick Bosa, defensive end with the 49ers. So I think that trend is likely going to continue. I'm not picking a cornerback. I'm going to go chalk as much as it kind of pains me. I don't like going chalk for offensive
no,
player of the year and defensive player of
I
the
don't
year.
hate that either because I almost did it and then I just didn't want to do it for both of them.
I just think Micah Parsons is so dominant and feels like this is his time. I like Parsons at plus 500. He's dominant, man. I think he's the best defensive player in football. And look, he's like, you could make an argument that he's almost won this award the last 3 years. Now he's been in the running. Even when he was a rookie, he was right there. And I think he finally gets the job done at plus 500 to win defensive player of the year. You have a sleeper or two?
I do. I mean, I think Aaron Donald is still the best defensive player on the other side, plus 2,500. If he can get right, who's gonna retire? So maybe that's it. Chris Jones, I don't get either.
Yeah, it's way too high.
Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but other than Aaron, or maybe Joey Bosa plus 4,500.
I'm going to go someone you didn't mention as a sleeper. I'm going to go Brian Burns plus 3,000, defensive end for the Carolina Panthers. He's someone that's kind of coming into his own, and I think he's going to be dominant. He was a Pro Bowler last year. He's somebody that I could see putting up some serious numbers on which I think is going to be a very good Carolina Panthers defense. So he'd be my sleeper at plus 3,000. All right, you want to move to the last award, which is MVP?
Wait, why is Nick Bosa plus 1,200 if he's holding out till at least week 2?
They must assume he's not going to actually hold out. Would be my guess. Chris Jones is somebody that I think is actually going to hold out, and he is at plus. What did Chris Jones at? Plus
8,500.
Yeah.
He said he was gonna hold on to like week 8, 9. Like
Yeah. So the reason being is, that I guess is so to actually qualify to be a free agent the next year, you have to play in some games.
yeah,
I believe
right.
it's so that's why he would want to wait till week 8 then to play. But I do think he would be willing to sit out. But we'll see if if the Chiefs, they're in a Super Bowl win now window. you kind of have to pay the guy. You know. All right, MVP. This is our last award before we give our NFC champions, AFC champions, and Super Bowl picks. Shocker, Patrick Mahomes is favored to win the MVP award at plus 600, followed by Joe Burrow at plus 750. Then Josh Allen at plus 850, Jalen Hurts at plus 1100, Justin Herbert at plus 1200, then Lamar Jackson at plus 1500, Trevor Lawrence also at plus 1500, and then Aaron Rodgers at plus 1600. So look, on DraftKings, these are tight odds. So who do you like to win MVP?
So on the podcast, I'm picking a Lamar Jackson plus 1500. I think he's gonna get right. He's got more receivers than he did last year. If they can win in that division, he won it before with his running ability. I don't think he'll have any problem winning it again.
And so who do you? So you're picking him for the pod, but I assume you're going to bet on someone. I assume you're going to name a sleeper for me. So hold that. I'll give you my pick, and then you can give me your spiel. I'm going to go different here. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts at plus 1100. You could make a real argument that Jalen Hurts deserved it last year. Now, of course, Patrick Mahomes won it last year, but I think Hurts is going to have an exceptional season. And look, the NFC is a weak conference as a whole, and I think Hurts is going to put up some crazy numbers like he did last year. Between running the football and throwing the football, he's got some great targets in Devonta Smith, along with A.J. Brown. I love Jalen Hurts to win this MVP award at plus 1100.
No, I don't like that because he should have won last. Well,
That's why he's due.
all right. On my real ticket, I really have a 2 plus 2200.
So we're gonna call him
And
a
I'll
deep sleeper.
and Matt, I will send you the screenshot of actual proof. Okay,
So-
it's only $10. Let us know.
That'll pay pretty well if it hits. So that's like your sleeper, your real life sleeper.
Yes, and I'll bet real for Lamar Jackson, but yes, Matt, I do have a ticket for 2 plus 2200.
You know what's crazy? I'm looking at these odds. Trey Lance has the same odds as Brock Purdy, both
No, that's
at plus 5,000. Like Trey Lance is just getting to the Cowboys. He's behind Dak Prescott, Pro Bowler. And Brock Purdy is somebody that is the clear number one quarterback. So that doesn't.
Because I did this in the morning and then I looked after. So
Yep.
like I don't know why he's not off the board.
It makes no sense to me. Two names I like some other names. They're not really sleepers, but I love Joe Burrow too at plus 750. He's somebody that I really like. Trevor Lawrence at plus 1500 would I guess be my sleeper pick.
I think that's chalk though. Everyone's picking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too
I almost
obvious.
did too, and then I was like,
Too obvious, yeah.
no.
But then you look down here, right after, I would say after two at plus 2200. Prescott at plus 2200. Deshaun Watson plus 3000. Geno plus 4000. Goff plus 4,000. Russell Wilson plus 4,500. Kirk Cousins plus 5,000. I guess Brock Purdy at plus 5,000 is good value.
Listen, anybody before Russell Wilson except Justin Fields, because I think the Bears are going to be absolutely, absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate.
Yeah,
Even
you can make an argument for all of them. You really could.
1,600. I really don't.
I don't think Mahomes wins his third this year. I think, look, his supporting cast is a little bit less than it was last year, and I just don't think he's going to get it again. It's tough to go back to back in these awards.
You know, one back to back. I couldn't even tell you.
I think I want to say Peyton Manning or no, Aaron Rodgers was the last one.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I want to say
that's
but
right.
let me fact check it before I'm lying to you.
That's right. Then he went in 18-9.
He might have
17-18.
I got the list right here. So Mahomes won it last year. We know that. Rodgers won it in 2021 and 2020.
Oh, damn it.
Lamar Jackson won it in 2019. Then Mahomes won it in 2018. Brady won it in 17. Matt Ryan won it in 16. Cam Newton won it in 2015. Rodgers won it in 2014. Peyton Manning won it in 2013. And then Adrian Peterson was the last non-quarterback to win the award in 2012. So, is there any non-quarterback, I guess, if you had to bet on anyone, who would it be? Non-quarterback.
Non-quarterback. That's kind of. I mean, you'd have to pick a running back. You would have to pick. Who's a running back? Yeah, I mean the receiver's tied at the quarterback.
I would
If you don't
take.
like, no, go ahead. If you
I
got one, go ahead.
I mean, if it happens, right? Like, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I would go Justin Jefferson, I guess, plus 10,000 because I don't think Kirk Cousins is gonna win an MVP award, and I think Justin Jefferson would probably give the best opportunity to. Or Christian McCaffrey, I guess, a plus 8,000 because he does a lot for that 49ers team. I guess those would be the two. Jamar Chase can't because it'd be attached to Burrow.
Yeah, McCaffrey's not bad.
You got
I
another
I,
name?
I not hate that. What is this? Nick Chubb plus 15,000? No.
No.
Jonathan Jonathan Taylor, you're holding out for 4 weeks. Good job, Noah. Drafting him. Good job.
Ugh.
You face him week 1. Yeah, thank
I
you.
also I also drafted Jonathan Taylor last week in a draft.
Oh, sorry for that.
I picked him in the third round. He was there. Uh, I don't know. That's why I ultimately did it.
I
I have no running back room, but yeah.
I don't have a. I mean, Devontae Adams. If
Yeah, that's a good one.
he's not tied to anybody else.
No, that's a good one.
Cooper Cup maybe, but he should have won 3 year. Or did he win 3?
He
No,
won
he.
offensive player of the year.
Yeah. So no, I don't know.
It's tough. It's a quarterback award, to be honest with you. All right, Peter. So that's our awards. We gave our MVP picks, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, coach of the year, comeback player of the year. And now it's time for our AFC and NFC champion picks. And then our Super Bowl picks. So this is exciting. I don't know who Peter's picking. Peter doesn't know who I'm picking. The closest we got to deciding who we were going to pick was putting Carr's feet to the fire last week and making him give a pick on the spot, which he did not like, I don't think. I think he hated it. I don't think he liked it at all.
Well, to be fair, I think I don't even know. He probably didn't pick it for his own
No, he
podcast.
didn't. He caveated it and he's like, "This is my pick for today. Like it could change." Like I was like, "I
That's
get it."
that's probably why. And then if and we'll listen to whatever his awards are, and then if he picks the same one, I'll be like, yeah, that's right.
That's right, Gar. All right. So what do you want to start with? NFC or AFC?
We do NFC because we
NFC.
both got plays in the AFC, I guess. Even though
Yeah, right.
Patriots with the
We'll go
Super Bowl.
NFC. NFC odds to win the NFC, according to DraftKings here, the Philadelphia Eagles are favored to come out of the NFC again at plus 250, followed by the San Francisco 49ers at plus 380, coming off their NFC title game last year. Then the Cowboys at plus 600. Then the Detroit Lions at plus 1100. I don't think it's probably ever happened in their history where they had the fourth best odds to come out of the NFC. Then the Saints at plus 1200. Then the Seattle Seahawks at plus 1400. Then the Minnesota Vikings at plus 2,000. And then the Atlanta Falcons at plus 2,200. Jesus, man. God. The
So
NFC,
like
the NFC is so
DraftKings is
bad.
just doing like whatever their division leaders are. Obviously gonna have a playoff home game. So like that's why the Lions are what do you say, 4 or 5?
Fourth, man. Fourth.
Yeah. I love you,
Like,
no. No.
also, all right, so make your pick and then I'll kind of give it my little actually before you give your pick. Tell me how it makes sense the Falcons have better odds than the Giants. The Giants literally won a playoff game last year. I know nobody likes Daniel Jones and stuff, but the Giants are plus 2,800 and the Falcons are plus 2,200. Desmond Ritter's never started before in the NFL. That doesn't
Because
make much sense to me.
because the Giants play in a division with the Cowboys and Eagles, and then the Falcons play in the division with Saints, and then
I
you
I
have the
get
Panthers, and then the Panthers, and then the Bucks maybe. But
all right, but let's just say the Falcons win their division. Let's say they go 8-9 and they're the 4 seed. The Giants make the playoffs as a 7 seed with the same record. And then let's say the Giants went to Atlanta to go to a playoff game. You'd pick the Giants to win. You
I
would.
would pick the
And I
Giants,
would
but
as
like
well.
that's just assuming that the Atlanta Falcons have the home field advantage.
Also, one more gripe: the Rams at plus 5,000. Matt Stafford and company. They just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, man. Like I
I don't, I
understand.
don't, I don't actually hate. I don't hate that at all. I don't hate that at
Ah,
all.
I mean, look,
People
you're
are
gonna put the
way too.
Bears, the Commanders, the Packers, the Giants, the Panthers, the same odds as them. I don't know. It is still Sean McVay.
Yeah, it is, and then they got enough pieces on offense or
Yeah,
defense. So,
I agree. But without further ado, give me your NFC pick, Peter. I'll stop complaining.
all right, I said it before Trey Lance, but I'll stick to it. I guess 49ers over the Packers plus 380.
You think the Packers get to the NFC title game?
Yeah, I do. I like the
Wow.
Packers. Yeah, I do like the Packers this year. Packers are nobody out. I don't think the Lions win that division. But the 49ers got everything around. They're probably a top 5 defense. Other than the quarterback, I don't know how Brock Purdy is going to do in a whole year, and everybody's game plan against him. They'll probably blow up in his face. It's probably going to be the Bucks all over again, but it doesn't matter. I like the 49ers. I think they're going to hold their own enough. I really like Kyle Shanahan. I like the 49ers. There you go, Dave.
I am
49ers.
going to tell you what, I'm going to go different. I'm going to go with the Eagles here, plus 250. I have the Eagles over the 49ers in the NFC Championship. The repeat is last year, same result. And the reason I think Jalen Hurts and that talented Eagles offense is just so difficult to stop. And even with Brock Purdy as a healthy starter next year, I'm still taking the Eagles in that game. I like them at plus 250. I think they're a team. They're the best team in the NFC by a wide margin. I have some question marks about Brock Purdy, like you said. Coming
You have
in
question marks on their defense, though. They
and,
lost
the
what,
Eagles.
5 starters?
The Eagles did. They did, but I think they drafted exceptionally well. Jalen Carter, I think he's going to come in and play extremely well.
Yes, we all love Georgia. Yes, we all love Georgia.
All of Georgia.
Yes.
But I like the Eagles at plus 250. That's my pick. Do you have any sleepers in the NFC to come out?
I mean, anybody that you said. I mean, the Vikings plus 2,000, maybe. Giants plus 2,800. I almost picked the Pack. I almost did. Plus 3,500. And then the Rams plus 5,000.
My sleep,
I'm never picking the Cowboys. If you pick the Cowboys, I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you what, as like a sleeper pick, I think they'd have to be my pick at plus 600 because I do think they are one of the most talented. They've in terms of a roster, right? They are.
No,
They
but
can,
like Mike McCarthy,
right,
you
I
could
know,
see him
I
during the
know.
last play. That's all the
Right.
season's on the line.
You take
He
out the
should be
Cowboys,
like
and
the first coach fired. I know it's Ron Rivera or whatever it is, but
you
like,
take out the Cowboys, and you let's say you take out the Eagles, Niners, and Cowboys. Then who are you going with? And I guess I picked the Lions.
no.
No,
I mean, I don't hate that either. I don't know.
yeah,
I just pick everywhere for the bottom. Pick your Panthers plus 5,000.
they're not gonna. It's a rookie quarterback, man. It would be a good story for them. I don't know. But I'm picking the Eagles. I'm going chalk.
You don't want Cardinals plus 20,000?
No, with that rookie 5th round quarterback and Josh Dobbs. No, thank you.
Hey, I called up. Thank you.
Good call, Peter. I called that Bailey Zappi sucks.
True.
Oh,
And I have a Mac Jones jersey, so
aha!
all
Thank you
works
for.
out.
I almost put on my Mac F and Jones shirt to record. I should have.
I must put on a Mac Jones jersey, so
There
I'll
you
do
go.
that week 1 when he starts, and then nobody else is there.
Yeah. All right. So ready for AFC?
Let's do it.
All right. AFC conference odds according to DraftKings here. The Chiefs are favored, obviously, at plus 330, followed by the Bills at plus 500, then the Bengals at plus 550, then the Ravens at plus 1100, then the Dolphins at plus 1100, the Jets also at plus 1100, then the Chargers at plus 1200, and the Jags at plus 1400. What do you like, Peter?
So as the AFC Championship game, I got the Bengals over Dolphins plus
Oh,
550. Yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to be pretty good this year. I'm so sorry. I know we can't root for the Dolphins, but that's why they'll crash and burn right at the end, and then Matt will cry. But I think Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the AFC, obviously. And I think the Bengals will beat the Chiefs in the divisional round, and then the Dolphins will just clean up on the Bills or whatever. I think they got all the way around on defense and offense. And the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure they got enough playmakers. It's do or die for Dolphins, honestly.
it's a big year for them. It absolutely is. There's a very, very big portion of people that realize that they don't even know if two is the answer. I know you're high on Tua this year, but if he has a bad year, they could
I'm
be.
only high on Tua because A, I have to, and B, I don't know. I mean, he's got all the and they're like rumored for Jonathan Taylor. So like,
Yeah. That's not even going to happen. It looks like so. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'll tell you what, Peter. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals over the Kansas City Chiefs. Kind of chalk, but I'm going for it again. I think this is the Bengals' year. kind of to get by the Chiefs. They've been so close. And I think they get back to the Super Bowl. And I think this Chiefs team isn't as good as it was last year. I'm going to take the Bengals over the Chiefs. AFC title game.
Love that.
All right. So that gives me a Super Bowl matchup of Bengals Eagles, and it gives you a matchup of Bengals Niners. So who do you like?
Well, I like the Bengals plus 1100 over the 49ers. I think they'll pull it out. I'm not calling a quarterback injury or somebody in an injury, but I think the Bengals got it all the way around. I really do. I think it's their time. They should have won it 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, a couple against the Rams was the last time they were there.
Yeah. So
I'm going to agree with you, Peter. We get the same Super Bowl team. Going with the Bengals here. I love the Bengals this year. I think this is the year they get over the hump. And I like them to beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles lose back-to-back Super Bowls. Boom.
all right, so we should put a ticket in that for right now, right?
We should. We should do a collab. Yes. Sounds good to me.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So that's our awards and our Super Bowl picks. So we're both on the Bengals, but most of our awards don't line up. I think the only one that lines up is Bijan Robinson, an Offensive Rookie of the Year. Everything else is different. So
That's
we'll
right.
see how
Yeah.
we'll see how we stack up. We have the same Super Bowl pick, but it's different teams. You get the Niners, I get the Eagles.
Holy
you actually
crap.
have the same as
As
Carl.
long as it's not last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Chargers, Bucks.
I'm all set on that.
Oh
We'll
my
see.
God.
You've had a bad track record, so I like your
Well, I
picks.
picked the Chiefs last year. Thank you. Well, not.
No, man, you had like you said, the Chargers, Bucks.
Yeah, and I won so much money on the Chiefs, and then you bet on the Chiefs before the season even started, and I didn't even see your ticket at all. So,
What are you gonna do?
happy Valentine's Day, Hannah. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, right. Every year,
It was.
son
That's
of
what
a
it
gun.
was.
But we're
Yeah.
gonna have matching Bengals tickets this year. So
Yeah, we are.
all right. So next week we will preview Week 1. Hell of exciting.
Week 1, 5 spread
5
pick.
picks. Get your picks ready.
Premium
Get your
pick
picks
of the
ready.
week.
I'm ready for it. I already have a couple picks in mind. I won't tell you, but
Don't spoil it, but like you better pick every Thursday night game until you get it right.
oh my God, I forgot about that. I couldn't pick a Thursday game to save my life. Damn.
Yeah, you
That
should
was
just pick it
stupid.
until it
That was
happens.
stupid. I forgot about that. But that's next week. So that's exciting. All right. 5 questions. My turn to ask you, right?
Let's do it.
All right. Question number 1, Peter. Would you rather have a pool or a hot tub?
A hot tub, because unless it's like yours and then it's heated, so you're the only person I personally know with a heated pool. I don't think I could use it in the wintertime. You can pop in a hot tub in the wintertime. So
Okay. So that was a tough question. I was like, because some people, like, I have family, they love their hot tub and they're religious in it like all the time. But look, pool's great in the summer, especially if you have a lot of people over and that sort of thing. So I do like pool. Like, I'm a pool over beach guy. I know that wasn't the question, but
how high
pool.
can you set your pool?
I have no
Do you know?
idea. We've had
No?
it. It's gotten as high as like 92.
Oh, so that's like a hot tub. I
Yeah.
mean, if you
Hot
got
tub
a
is like
heated pool,
hot tub is like 103.
you could figure it out. No, if you got that, you could figure it out. You could
I
crank
mean,
it up all the way to
the
90.
thing would it'd probably break. I mean, we not often, but a couple times I think it's hit 90. I don't think it's hit 90 this year. I think it's like hit 88 maybe. But that's probably about it. But yeah, I mean, I like my pool, so I'm gonna roll with it. Question 2, Peter. What is your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
It's the light blue by Bullet. Honorable mention is the lemon lime or the red fruit punch.
Yeah, that's mine. Mine is absolutely fruit punch. 100%. Question 3, Peter. Would you rather have how am I gonna phrase this? Would you rather have, I guess, breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast?
Breakfast for dinner. I don't like a lot of dinner stuff for breakfast unless it's like pizza or whatever. Breakfast for dinner is electric.
I'd probably pick neither, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge breakfast guy. I'd probably pick none of the above. But it's I don't know. I'm just personally not a breakfast guy. And I don't know. I wouldn't eat pizza for breakfast. I just can't see myself doing that.
Let me heat it up.
Yeah, you heat it up.
Yeah, I'm not cold on my mat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 100%. Freaking Matt. All right. Question 4, Peter. Speaking of Matt, at Matt's house now, I haven't played with Matt yet, but he has a dartboard, right? Nick has a dartboard there now. Would you rather play darts or pool?
Pool, I feel like it's more difficult and I'm better at pool than darts, I think.
I think I'm better at darts, but I think pool might be a little bit more fun. It's a close one though, because I think darts.
I don't hate any answer though.
Darts is a little. I don't want to say it's luck, but you're kind of just throwing it in the board. Pool definitely takes more skill. So, question 5, Peter. Did you see the releases that the Los Angeles Angels made prior to our show? Did you see that they cut Luis Giolito, Hunter Renfroe? They cut like 5 guys. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
right. So there you go. Rip Shohei Ohtani cost him like $400 million in just one day.
So yeah, I guess my question.
I did not see that though.
Yeah, Jeff Passan had it. It was hang on, I'll pull it up. Yeah, they full out released.
All the people they traded for, huh?
Yeah, Luis Giolito, Matt Moore, Ronaldo Lopez, Hunter Renfroe, and then Randall. I think it's Gricoke. I don't know. All on waivers, so they can be claimed. So Passan said, "quote For the Angels is a pure salary dump because they're no longer in any August trades, and they will get from their transactions as salary relief. Teams that claim that players need only pay their salaries for the rest of the season, so they'll be claimed, and they're attached to their salary. So what do you think about the Angels? Did they butcher this whole experience with Ohtani and Trout?
No, because they didn't think that Trout was gonna get hurt, and then obviously Ohtani out for the year for a pitcher side. They did everything they needed to do, I guess. Wait, they're in the same division as
The
what?
Mariners,
Oh,
Oakland,
all right, never mind.
the Astros. My
Never
thing
mind.
is they failed to get the pitchers, and I've been saying that for 5 years now. That's
Well, they
why
tried to get Drew Lito.
yeah, and they just cut him a month later. So I don't know. I'm not in favor of it. But what are you gonna do? But that's your 5 questions, Peter. You got me next week. All right. So Peter, big week, big
Wait,
big,
before
big week.
5 seconds.
Yeah, give it.
How was your fantasy draft for your family? 5
Well,
seconds.
I told you I just drafted Jonathan Taylor, so not well.
Oh, okay.
But I'm optimistic because I have a very good receiving core. I have Chris Olave, Jamar Chase, Amari Cooper, Odell Beckham.
Who's your running backs? That doesn't matter.
Oh my God, you're gonna. So I have Kamara, who's out. He's gonna be out for 3 games. Taylor, who's out for 4 games. Yeah, I got both of those guys. I have J.K. Dobbins, who I really like. Samaje Perine, who I also really like. I got Chuba Hubbard, who's going to be fighting for carries against Miles Sanders. My running back room is non-existent for a month. I'll read you my starting, I guess, squad right now. Kirk Cousins, of course.
Sure.
J.K. Dobbins, Samaje Perine, Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Kyle Pitts, Amari Cooper. I mean, the running back room is ass, but I think my receiving room is pretty good.
So sorry, but yes.
Yeah, not great. I like my team in XFL better. Well, the thing was, here was it. Freaking Jamar Chase, and I'm freaking Taylor was there in the 3rd round, and I was like, he's just too good to pass up. And then Kamara was there in like the 5th, and I was like, he's also too good to pass up. And I was like, you know what? If I go 1-3 to start the year, I'll go 1-3. I feel like I'm gonna be a second half team, Peter.
You are. I mean, with Kamara and Taylor, assuming
Tell me my receiver room isn't dirty with Jamar Chase, Olave.
No, you got to trade one of them, though. You do have to trade one.
I think Odell is somebody that I'm going to look to move first.
You do have to trade one.
I know. It's probably going to be Cooper. We'll see, though.
All
right. So I know you have some drafts this week, so best of luck to you on that front.
I do. I'm drafting on Josh Allen as we speak.
I'm sure you are. But you have to fill me in next week when we give our week 1 picks, baby. Catch you then, Peter. Get ready.
Stay hot. We love NFL week 1.